Be still, for a moment. Wherever you are right now, whatever noise has been following you through today, just pause here with me, for a few minutes. There are 3 things I want to walk through with you tonight. A quiet sign you may have been overlooking. A kind of peace that's available to you even around difficult people. And a season that may be turning, quietly, whether you've noticed it yet or not. None of this is going to be loud. None of it is going to demand anything from you. It's simply an invitation, to sit with something true for a little while. Let's begin. You've probably found yourself searching for a sign at some point. In circumstances. In other people's reactions. In numbers you keep noticing, or dreams you can't quite shake. That searching isn't foolish. It comes from wanting to know you're not walking blind. But sometimes, the sign isn't the dramatic thing we were expecting. Psalm 46 verse 10 says it plainly, "Be still, and know that I am God." Not, "Be amazed." Not, "Be overwhelmed." Be still. There's something worth noticing in that. When the noise in your mind quiets down, even briefly, when you feel that unexpected settling in your chest in the middle of an uncertain week. That stillness itself can be a form of confirmation. Not proof in the way a courtroom would define it. But a kind of inner rest that anxiety doesn't usually produce on its own. If you felt that lately, it's worth paying attention to. Not because stillness guarantees a particular outcome, but because it's often a sign that you're allowed to stop gripping so tightly to the question, and start trusting the process a little more. A lot of us were taught that faith should feel electric. Fireworks. Certainty that arrives all at once. For some people, it does happen that way. For most of us, it looks more like Elijah in 1 Kings 19. Not in the wind, not in the earthquake, not in the fire, but in a still, small voice afterward. So if your version of a sign has been quiet, you haven't missed anything. You may have just been looking for the wrong volume. Here's a practical way to sit with this. The next time you feel that unexplained calm show up in the middle of a hard stretch, try naming it instead of dismissing it. Say, even quietly to yourself, "This might be worth trusting." You don't have to be certain. You just have to be willing to stop arguing with your own peace. Psalm 27 verse 14 puts it this way. "Wait for the Lord, be strong and take heart and wait for the Lord." Waiting isn't the same as being stuck. Sometimes waiting is the sign. It's common, especially during a season of change, to feel weighed down by someone from your past. An old friendship that ended badly. A family relationship that's grown tense. Someone whose opinion of you still sits heavier than it should. If that's been on your mind, you're not alone in it, and it doesn't mean something is wrong with you. Relationships are complicated, and it's normal for old ones to resurface in your thoughts, especially when you're growing or making changes they didn't expect. Scripture doesn't promise that difficult people disappear the moment we wish they would. What it offers instead, is somewhere to put the weight of it. Psalm 56 verse 8 says, "You keep track of all my sorrows. You have collected all my tears in your bottle. You have recorded each one in your book." Whatever has been said about you, or misunderstood about you, is not something you're required to carry and defend on your own. If someone from your past has hurt you, or you suspect they still speak of you unkindly, you don't have to spend your evenings replaying it, or trying to control what you can't control. Romans 12 verse 18 offers a realistic standard here, not an idealistic one. If it is possible, as far as it depends on you, live at peace with everyone. Notice the qualifiers. If possible, as far as it depends on you. That's permission to do your part, and then release the rest. This isn't about pretending you have no feelings about it, and it isn't about assuming the worst about someone based on a feeling alone. It's simply this: your peace doesn't have to wait on their behavior changing. You're allowed to set that relationship down, at whatever distance is healthy, and let your rest be less conditional on them. If there's a specific person weighing on you right now, it might help to write down, honestly, what you can and can't control about that relationship. Usually the answer is, you can control your own boundaries, your own responses, and your own peace. You can't control their opinion of you, and trying to, often costs more than it gives back. Change rarely announces itself with certainty. More often, it shows up as a quiet sense that something in your life is shifting, even before you can describe what. If you've had that feeling lately, a restlessness with how things have been, a pull towards something different, even if you can't yet name it, that is worth taking seriously, without needing to overclaim what it means. Isaiah 43 verse 19 says, "See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up, do you not perceive it? I am making a way in the wilderness and streams in the wasteland." That verse doesn't promise a specific timeline. It doesn't say the new thing happens tonight, or in 30 days, or on a schedule you can set your watch to. It says, pay attention, because something may already be forming, even in a season that still feels like wilderness. A few honest observations, not guarantees, but patterns many people notice in seasons like this. When you stop accepting less than you need, in relationships, in work, in how you spend your time. That shift in your own standards often does start to reshape what surrounds you. Not overnight, and not magically, but through the ordinary mechanics of different choices producing different outcomes over time. When old patterns of thinking start to loosen, the self-doubt, the over-explaining, the bracing for disappointment, that internal change tends to open space for different decisions, which can lead to different results. That's not a spiritual guarantee so much as it's how growth usually works, supported by the belief that you're not doing it entirely alone. If this message is resonating with you tonight, it's probably not a coincidence, though it also isn't some kind of secret cosmic signal reserved only for you. Content like this tends to reach people who are already in a season of reflection, people asking real questions about their relationships, their direction, their peace. If you're in that place, here's something worth sitting with: the fact that you're asking these questions at all is usually a sign of growth, not a sign of falling behind. People who've stopped growing usually stop asking. It's tempting, in seasons like this, to look for someone or something to blame for how long the hard parts have lasted. Scripture doesn't ask you to pretend the hard parts didn't hurt. Romans 8:28 says, "And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love Him, who have been called according to His purpose." That's a statement about meaning being made from difficulty, not a claim that the difficulty itself was engineered as a test you had to pass to earn what comes next. You don't have to have earned this moment of reflection. You don't have to prove you're ready. You just have to be willing to keep going, one honest step at a time. With the belief that you're supported in that process rather than alone in it. If any part of this has been useful tonight, here are a few simple things you might try, not as a formula, but as a starting point. First, when you notice that unexpected stillness show up again this week, try not to argue with it right away. Sit with it for a minute before deciding it doesn't mean anything. Second, if there's someone from your past weighing on you, consider writing down what's actually yours to control in that relationship, and what isn't. Let the second list go, even if it takes practice. Third, if you've been waiting for a sign that a new season is coming, consider that it might already be starting in small, unglamorous ways: a conversation you had differently than you would have a year ago, a boundary you finally held, a thought you didn't spiral on the way you used to. Those are usually the first visible edges of a much bigger shift. If it helps, here are a few short prayers or reflections you can return to. I don't have to force certainty tonight. I can sit in the stillness and trust that it's not nothing. I release what isn't mine to carry about how someone from my past sees me. My peace doesn't depend on their opinion. If a new season is forming, I don't need to see all of it yet. I just need to keep taking the next honest step. None of these require a dramatic moment to be real. They're just true, whether or not tonight feels significant. If something in tonight's reflection resonated with you, the stillness, the weight of a difficult relationship, or the sense that something might be shifting, feel free to share which part stood out to you in the comments. Not because a certain word activates anything, but because it can be genuinely helpful to see that other people are carrying something similar. If these kinds of reflections are meaningful to you, you're welcome to subscribe so more of them find their way to you. No pressure either way, this was just meant to be a few honest minutes together. Wherever you are tonight, you don't have to have it all figured out by morning. Psalm 30 verse 5 offers a gentle reminder for nights that feel heavier than they should. Weeping may stay for the night, but rejoicing comes in the morning. That's enough for tonight. Rest well.